All right. Why is this like this? Because the bumper's kind of... Oh, what did I do? All right. It's been a while since... Red, how are you doing? It's been a while since I've been on the shipyard. Usually when I take a break, I will usually still stream, but lately I haven't even wanted to do that, so, you know. I have not been on the shipyard. I've almost completely... No, that's the wrong game. I have almost completely forgotten until, like, right before the stream started, what ships I was even working on. Alright. Let's get out the right game here. Create, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, thanks, Red. Yeah, I know an error occurred. Shut up. There. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's do this. I don't even know which ships I have saved in paint.net. Caleb, how are you doing? Sims 4 has become my obsession. I'll have to put this on loop, because that's almost certainly going to redo during the stream. Alright. Pardon me. Alright, I had the Atlantic, and which ship was this? It was Homeric, wasn't it? Or no, that ship over there was the Homeric. What ship was... Oh, that's the... I know what ship it is. What's the name of it? Cap Trafalgar. There it is. There, I got it. There we go. I'll probably be working on Homeric today, but I'm hoping for this just to be a kind of a chill stream, because I've been taking a back burner on YouTube lately, because I think I need it. Although I have still been doing those votes on the community. Oh, pardon me. So, it's normal. So how's everyone today? Spent the past few days making traffic and nomadic. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've looked at your traffic model, and it's, yeah, it's definitely better than mine. So. Remember the two ships I showed you in the post? One was called the... Yeah. Yeah. The Robert Lay, yeah. Yeah, I thought they were half-sisters. Like, they were built by the same builders, were they not? I thought. And they were built in the same year. I thought they were half-sisters. Robert Lay and Wilhelm Gustloff. Can someone confirm or deny that? Might as well. I don't want the docking bridge on the shear, so I'm pretty sure I saved Homeric. Pretty sure. Guess we're gonna find out. Like, I can definitely see a whole lot of differences between Robert Ley and Wilhelm Gustloff. I don't know if I'd call them sister ships, but I'd almost call them half-sisters. My friends requested an aircraft carrier, so I'm gonna do that, I guess. A lot of people have always requested battleships and military vehicles to me. And those aren't out of the question, but believe it or not, I've never built a battleship that looks good. And when I say that, I mean, I built one battleship. It's the first thing I've ever built in Minecraft as a ship in creative mode. And it certainly was not good. And I only did one side because I couldn't be bothered to do the other side. Robert Ley was a running mate. Okay. I figured I had something to do with Gustloff, but yeah. I think there are a few models of Nomadic and Traffic. There are deck planes of the Nomadic, I'm pretty sure. I don't know about the Traffic, though. The deck planes of Nomadic are in yellow, though. Like, it's weird. Well, at least the ones I found, anyways. Samurai visit a battleship. Technically, it was a training ship, but it's a navy. Yeah. What ship was it? Or is that private information? Which is totally fine if it is. There are traffic deck planes, but they're usually pretty hard to find ones that aren't blurry. Oh, okay. That's fair. Traffic isn't the most notable ship in the world, unfortunately, as much as I'd like it to be. I think the closest thing that I've really done to a battleship is the Wilhelm Gustloff herself. And even that, Wilhelm Gustloff does need a redo eventually. Most of my older ships built before, I want to say, 2020, mid-2024, kind of really pretty much need a redo. So, we'll see. Hang on, I'm going to do something that I don't usually do. So that's 3 blocks in. So we'll do 3. And then I'll do 4 here. Alright. I'm gonna actually curve the deck. Shiki, how are you doing? Palinero, she was a Mediterranean ship, and I was in the same city of one of those days. Okay. Alright, is there any other shear lines on the ship? Yes, there is. Not one. Well, yeah, I can. There. Oh, I don't know if that's not going to work, is it? No. I hate how I have to do this with this shear. Taking notes for pneumatic and traffic for tutorial because I promised it this week, but I got ground in the other pneumatic and we're bad, so I redid it. I see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Harland and Wolff documents, like official Harland and Wolff records, prove that Titanic had a 3-bladed central propeller. Like, I think it's proven at this point. 100, almost like 100%, she did. You're 100% correct on that, Create, to my knowledge. Records prove it. And it makes sense, because, like, White Star would have wanted to trial the Titanic against the Olympic and see which ship was the better performer under which circumstances. Like, Olympic had a 4-bladed propeller for most of her career. I think right after Titanic it was switched out for 3. And then around when wartime started, it was switched back out for 4, I think. Something like that. Titanic had 3. Had a 3-bladed propeller. All of them. Well, I don't know. I am building a sort of sister ship to the Belgian one. Okay. Nice. You would have thought a ship like the Belgian one would have had a sister ship, but no, it didn't, did it? It's just like the Aquitania. Just nothing. I mean, Aquitania had Mauritania and Berengaria, so I don't know if that's really that fair of a, you know. Yeah, the White Star Line would have wanted to trial Olympic and Titanic together, so it makes sense why they put 3 blades on Titanic. See if it was the better performer or not, and I don't know. I think she was. Like, was it out of the question? I don't know if it was out of the question that Titanic could beat Olympic. And that's where the whole Ismay conspiracy leads to, but Ismay did not push the ship for a speed record. He wanted to see if he was just pretty much just curious if Olympic was better than Titanic or vice versa, and fair enough to him, because Titanic's a brand new ship, you know, why wouldn't you be curious about that? You want to know how best to build your ships. Simple as. Ships are he, she, or... a ship is normally she, feminine, but it's usually at someone special's request that they are masculine, as in he. Have you heard of the SS Imperator of 1913? Well, the German Kaiser requested for it not to be called a she, but a he, because Imperator is Latin for emperor, I think, not empress. So usually it's she, sometimes it's he. Neuronic will be getting a rebuild soon. By the way, I guess Neuronic will be getting a rebuild soon. I'm hoping to rebuild my own Neuronic eventually, but I have to finish City of New York and Oceanic and the other 5 million ships that I started and didn't finish. People wanted to raise Titanic's propellers. One of my friends had mentioned that, and I thought that it would be a really bad idea as the stern of the ship. Plus, it's too deep. It's more or less, I feel, impossible to retrieve Titanic's propellers, because they're all dug down under the sand, right? Or no, one of them's visible. One of them, at least. Definitely. It's at least half. It's like half over the bottom, but it definitely probably just completely destroy the things. In my country, is he, except when you say the ship X, because the word ship is female. Ah. Yeah, I knew. Oh, the Netherlands. Oh, that's right, the Netherlands. That's right. Forgot about that ship. No, Netherlands was supposed to have 4 funnels, wasn't it? It was just supposed to be like an Aquitania sort of thing. I thought Netherlands was supposed to have 4 funnels. Titanic is overrated. I agree. Used in too much clickbait and yeah. Should probably do these shears too. I mean, I know no one's gonna see them, but it's probably better if I do them. And then yeah, that's good. Actually, I might even want to just do that. Yeah. 50-50 on whether I should redo the bow. Sleep on it. I find that might help if you sleep on it. You know, you'll come back to it with a fresh mind. Still be connected to the engine, so it'll be hard to... Yeah, true. But it probably also just dissolved the shafts as well. If they were to take off the propellers, they'd have to... Well, the stern is absolutely tanked. Like, it's unbelievable the condition the stern is in. If you look at the 1985 or 86, whenever it was, paintings that Bob Ballard, Ken Marshall did, when the wreck was discovered, if you look at the paintings he did, you'll see the stern is obviously in much worse condition than the bow. That was 1986. The stern is barely recognizable, if I'm not mistaken. The fantail is the only thing left. Pretty much. That hasn't collapsed in on itself. Like, there's no... there's nothing left of the stern. At all. Top 5 European countries. I've never been to any European countries, so I can't, you know. But if I had to do one, probably all the Nordics. I'd go Iceland, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Not in that order. Well, maybe in that order, I don't know. Probably do that. Titanic sank in fresh water. Well, she wouldn't be in good condition, but she wouldn't be in nearly as bad of condition that she is now. She definitely wouldn't be in good condition, because friggin' Titanic completely ripped herself apart, pretty much, in the last 10 minutes of her sinking. Definitely wouldn't be in good condition. But probably, a few European countries, things like food. No, not really. Not really. Did I finish Atlantic? I don't know if I put a cake on the Atlantic. Oh wait, no, yes I did. Yes I did. It's right down here. I did. Yeah, I am not that educated on that. I have my opinions, but I'm not educated. Well, as educated as I really should be on all that. Britannic. But in a fun idea, would there be a chance to raise her in sections? No, probably not. Britannic would also probably completely destroy herself. Had she even... If you cut her into sections? No. Probably not. I mean, again, who am I to talk? Because I don't know a whole lot about, crap like that. But I honestly don't think that would work. I don't think anything would work. Britannic is just down there. Can't even go inside the ship without, like, a government contract, right? Because it's owned half by the government and half by some random Greek man. Or, I don't even know if he's Greek. But it's owned half by the Greek government and half by some random man. Did you see the photos of Britannic's grand staircase that were taken a few months ago, I think? Like, her grand staircase is in amazing condition. Like, it's unreal. Olympic and Britannic have docked in some city of my country in World War I. Oh, nice! Really, Olympic... Is Olympic in the Mediterranean? Or... I don't know. If I ever become a billionaire, I would build a one-to-one replica of Olympic and sell it to Titanic Museum in Belfast. It's probably not even the Mediterranean that we're talking about. Sorry. Oops. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, Red. My apologies. I shouldn't have done that. That or I build a mansion with Olympic classrooms in it. Not French, okay. Didn't think you were. Come on now. Ah! There we go. But the fact that 80% of the world hates France makes me laugh. I don't hate France. I love France. Look, after the UK and Ireland, France is third up. Or is it? I don't know, because it's competing with the Nordics too. Nordics are beautiful, I think. Yeah. Like, I've seen pictures. Beautiful. Discovered where Jay lives. What? Sky, how are you doing? Border Island's Celtic and holy, it felt so familiar to the Olympic class, mainly the staircases and the rooms in the IT class. Dining room layout was pretty similar. Olympic class had a downgrade. There was glass skylight in the dining room. To be honest, the White Star Line was... It was kind of a copy and paste company. Alright, where do I live? North America. Well, that's not incorrect. I live in Canada. I am a proud Canadian, so... Yeah? No, it's fine. House. Yeah, that's not incorrect either. That is not a lot of information. There are so many views. Well, I've kind of fallen off lately, but thanks. You know what could be cool if you tried to build a bunch of Canadian Pacific ships like... You know what? I crap you not, Shiroko. Just like 2 days ago, I was thinking about building every Canadian Pacific ship. I crap you not. Thinking, maybe this would be a fun challenge for me. I'm Canadian, and I haven't built any Canadian ships. Why not build a whole bunch of Canadian ships? Yeah, I'm closer to 1,000 than 900, that's right. Shame on you for what? It's a lighting glitch, I think. Where's that? Weird. Alright. About to say every Canadian Pacific ship, but didn't want to pressure you. No, I've already been thinking about that. I've also been thinking about building every Inman line ship, because the Inman ships are quite smaller. A lot smaller than the Canadian Pacific ships. So, you know. Alright, I should probably head on to paint.net. Whoops. And see if I actually saved the deck plans of the Homeric. It will be sad if I haven't. Homeric. I did! Which ones are they, though? I have a new problem on my hands now. Oh, no, I have that one. Alrighty. Homeric. Alright. Alright, I have... actual... No, that can't be. No, those are not the right ones. Alright. Homeric. Let's try that. Alright, I got a picture of the Homeric. Good start. Let's try the second one. I got another picture of the Homeric. That's also a decent start. Try the third one. Yet another picture of the Homeric. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I labeled the right ones DP, deck plan. If I just looked at the name, then oh my god. If I actually just looked at the name, then okay. Homeric, whoops. Homeric, deck plan 2. Alright. Open. Homeric, deck plan 3. Homeric, deck plan 4. There we go. I'm getting somewhere. Yippee. I've already reached 953 subscribers, but someone kept unsubscribing. Which is fine. Go right ahead, I don't care. Do you ever build every Canadian ship and every Canadian boat that ever exists? And the wrecks? I'm gonna have to put a hard no on that. Sorry. Alright, let's take a look at Homeric. Now I need an actual... Now I actually need those pictures of her. Homeric 4. Alright, we got a picture of the stern of the ship. That's also a good start. Alright, so... let's see. How did this work? So that was just normal. That goes up another deck. Any ship and any boat that ever exists. I'm also gonna have to put a hard no on that, too. Sorry. So that goes up one more deck. Well, technically 2 or 3 more, I guess, but... one more. I might just get rid of the shear for this deck, because it's just so kind of out of place that I'm just gonna get rid of it. Or I could just make it shorter, or longer, I guess. Yeah, sorry I haven't streamed or done any content in a while, guys. I do have a video premiering on February 15th. You know that Britannic video that I did a month or two ago? Well, that's the sequel. An Olympic video. You know, the good old reliable herself. 955 subs? Okay, someone please tell me how I gained 3 subscribers in 2 minutes. I'm not that big. That shouldn't be happening. Did someone just create a couple alt accounts? Because, I mean, if so, then I'm not going to stop you, but... That's dedication. I appreciate it. So that goes up another deck. And that can go almost down the length of the ship, so I'll just put a couple blocks. I'm just too famous, yeah. So, do you guys think I should take a good old look and compare this unfinished Homeric to my old, outdated, finished Homeric? Doesn't matter, because I am anyways. Experiment with smoke coming out of the funnels. There are plans to do that. I am thinking about doing that. I won't be able to use World Edit, like I'll have to do it all manually, but oh well. It'll make it seem a little more realistic.
Imagine being a...
There we go. 12-hour music loop, just restart it. Alright, alrighty. Which one's it in? I think it's in the third one. Yeah, it is. Look, my old Atlantic is there too. Oh, how trashy this model is. Alright. Here's the old one. Oh my god, that's horrible. Am I not reading your brain? They kind of are. Oh my god. That's a whole lot of pressure plates. Yep. This is not a good model. Is there even a way to get up? There isn't, no. You're either at the front of the ship or you're at the... Well, you're at everywhere else. I managed to put a staircase here on a one-to-one model. Jeez. This, I believe, is the highest deck on the ship, apart from the Crow's Nest, which is only a couple blocks higher than this. And there's my old crappy Titanic from 2024. Well, 2023 technically. The Craptanic. Is it bad that... Oh my god, I even put the Alucard... Okay, this is kind of good. This is kind of good. When you're done, are you gonna play Roblox with me or no? We'll see. I don't know when I'll be done, so... Sorry. Alright. Yeah, is it bad that my old 2023 Titanic is better than my old but newer 2024 Titanic? Like, is that a bad thing? That the first Titanic's better than the second? Because this is not a great model. Usually it's the other way around. I did do the staircase here, though. Why are there trapdoors? Why did I put trapdoors here? Why did I put trapdoors there? Are they on the other side, too? I mean, they're right below the funnel, so that could be why. No, I didn't. Why did I put trapdoors over there? That is so weird. Why did I do that? I don't even remember. That's how long ago this was. Oh, look how short and stumpy the funnels are on the Homeric. Alright, I'm going back to the newer one. Alrighty. Whoops. See you later, Sky. Have a good one. Alright. So I used end rods for this thing here. On the old version. On the old ancient version. So, how many windows were there? I almost want to know. It's not a great angle because it's always kind of interrupted by the mast. That's super low quality. That's also super low quality. That's blocked completely. So, I'm just gonna take a guess. Was there a staircase there? There was a staircase there. Alright. So we're getting somewheres. Where would the staircase have been? How far in? Would have been... I don't think it... No, it's too pixelated. It won't render in. I'm gonna have to change this. 100, 1. So that'd be roughly about here then. So that's 4 blocks out. So that's about right here. I'll put that right there instead. That is super, like, that is pretty far out. I'm gonna do this. Or, pretty far out. It's not far out enough. When the Big U is gonna sink sometime this year, I believe is what their plan is. The United States is definitely planned to be sunk this year. They're still preparing her, but they're probably taking a break for the winter, because if I had to guess. Probably just gonna use the normal trapdoors. Ooh, now, here's a bit of a problem here. Actually, I could just do this. And just forget about the fence gate for once. Like, that's not a horrible thing to do, I don't think. Although it'd be nice if I actually could place the door down. There we go. Pardon me. Alright. Could you do some tugboats in the future, maybe scaled up? I probably will eventually. Well, either way, if the United States pulls an America, then either way they get what they want. For the ship to sink. Granted, not how they wanted it to, but oh well. Alright, now how long was this deck here? Which deck am I even building? I don't even know. That's probably a bit concerning. I don't know which deck I'm building. It's, the boat deck, I think, is it? Is that the boat deck? It is the boat deck, yes. Oh, I thought Homeric had a second deck, or a third deck of superstructure. I thought the boat deck was the third deck, not the second deck. Oh well. So... That would be... Now, it'd be nice if these were actually in a good spot, because these are not at all in a good spot. So now I'm going to have to crop this and have a whole lot of trouble with it like I did the last deck when I cropped it. Right. Oh, whoopsie. That's not good. There we go. That's definitely not good. Ah! Paint.net, I'm not gonna lie, it's a great software, but it can be darn annoying at times. Alrighty, we're gonna copy that just in case. Gonna select. Gonna move that over to just about there. Why am I moving this one? I could be moving the other one. I can be a dum-dum sometimes. Now, I do want to make sure, is this exactly where I want it? Is that deck going to be where the lifeboat is? I don't know. This is a very early photo of the ship, I think. Either that or very late. I put that there. So where's the docking bridge? That's there. And this is all the way down there. So no, that isn't quite where I want it to be. I want it to be forward. Alright. So, if I move that... Whoops. If I move that whole thing down, if I crop that again... Sorry guys, just give me a minute. Crop that again. Alright. Copy that. Select. And move that over right on down to here. Right there. Alrighty. And that should be all good. It should be in the right place now. And I believe it is. Actually, it's one block forward than it should be. So, move this back one block, and that still works. Perfect. Problem solved. Have you seen the restaurant called De Normandy? Because it's a boat themed restaurant in France. I have not. Is it named after the Normandy, or is it because it's in Normandy? Alright, I should probably measure the length of what I'm building here. This is one straight line, isn't it? Yes, it is. Alright. So, that is... over, down. Copy, file, new. 126 blocks. So, if I did this... Actually, it's probably safer to do it from the back. From the back of the ship. Maybe. We'll see. do this. It's named after Normandy. Alright, so docking bridge. This is the docking bridge. So that should be like that. And that is 50 blocks. Good old square old 50. Perfect. Alright. So, I think I miscounted. That sucks. So, no, that should be there. Gotta go. Goodbye. God, I can't speak. Night, Red. Can't speak. I don't know what my words are anymore. I don't know how to speak. I don't know. Goodness. This should probably have a thing like that. Alright. So this can go right down and mosey on down to the end. Oh no, it can't. No, it can't. That's only a deck house. Oh my god, that could have been confusing. All right, how long is the deck house? 14. That seems a little far, though. Definitely seems a little far. But compared to this picture here, if I line them up at just about the same angle, which was... Well, if this ends up looking lopsided, blame the deck plans. Not me. I'm following the deck plans to the best of my ability. What was the planned Homeric that White Star was going to build? The Germanic. I believe Germanic, there was a chance it was going to be named Homeric. But, obviously the ship was never laid down, I don't think, so we don't really know. That was the original Homeric. Oh. Alright, so what is the gap between those two deck houses? It's just this, okay. I'm seriously kind of thinking that this is definitely off. But I've built it to the deck plan's accuracy. Just doesn't seem it. I mean, not quite to the accuracy. The curve's a little bit off. The curve of the stern, but like that shouldn't matter much. in the long run. I'm just gonna trust the process. That's what I'm gonna do. And also, this bulwark only goes to the end of that deck house for some reason. Looking forward to Rao and building the Republic. That'll be interesting. I don't think there's deck planes of the Republic. Although he found deck planes of the Oceanic class. I'm sure he'll find deck planes of the Republic. Now that I think about it. I still kind of want him to, at the very least, attempt to build the Asiatic and the Tropic. You know, those two cargo ships that White Star bought under construction in the 1870s. Oh, those are promenade pillars? I thought they were windows. Oh! I see. I get it. So half of it, it's like Titanic, half of it is enclosed, half... Okay. I never noticed that until now. So, RMS Homeric, I just want to get a side view of the ship so I can get an accurate side view. Although I don't think I can get... doesn't matter, really. Just halfway through. Is it halfway through? Yeah, pretty much. I have never heard of Virtual Sailor 7. Virtual Sailor 7. Cannot say that I have. Ugh. One of these days, it'll be City of New York's turn. It'll probably be her turn next episode. I'll probably try and get her all done next episode. Who got done that Titanic model before honoring board? You probs have. It's where Kyle who'd. Oh! Okay. I think I know maybe what you're talking about. I've probably heard of it, I just don't recognize it. I might as well just do this and remove every second block. Oh, I think I see. Okay. Oh, what do I do for this? None of those were unevenly spaced, were they? Actually, they were. There's one great big pillar at the front. That's perfect. Can use it as my excuse. One easy way to get around this, unfortunately. That sucks. SS Lapland. I haven't, but I have built the Vaterland. The Fatherland. You know that red star, not the big one, the red Starliner built in 1900. So now get our little handy dandy paintbrush tool. Alright, so what's that supposed to be? That's a good question actually, by the looks of it. Skylights or no, they're probably vents. Alright. that goes right to the end of the deck house. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just do that just for now. Alright, take a look at chat. Vado and rebuild. Yeah, that's probably also getting a rebuild eventually. I've promised a rebuild of virtually every single one of my ships from before the midpoint of 2024, probably after that too. So it'll take some time because I don't want to keep overexerting myself with these ships, but you know, eventually they will get done, I'm sure. Time to do that. So that is certainly going to have to be a couple blocks back either way. There's no stopping this. But that goes to two blocks over. Wow. Wow. Stripped oak for funnels. I'll probably keep on using the mushroom block. Although I am probably going to start putting bolts on my funnels. I can try that on Atlantic right now, actually. Or I can also go to the Olympic as well. Alright. So I need birch buttons. I need dark oak buttons. How do I do this? That's a good question. I don't actually know how to do this. We're gonna find out the hard way. I'm just gonna do this every third or so block. And that should be angled. Come on, Josh, you know better. Alright. And I'm gonna put one at the top anyways. What's that skeleton ship next to Atlantic? That is the beginning of the SS Cap Trafalgar. Although I have the unfortunate knowledge that there are no deck plans that I can find of Cap Trafalgar, and there are also no models that I can find, so it's off 3 photographs I have to go. I probably should have researched this ship before I actually started building it, but oh well, I'm there now. Forgot about that. Okay, so you were there in that stream then. I don't remember who was there in that stream. I'm just gonna do this. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, if all else fails, that ship will probably, in the end, become a custom ship. But considering I've done this to pretty much every ship I built before before I downloaded Paint.net, I think I'll be fine with that. It'll be nice building a ship the old way. I'm gonna go to the Olympic and do those bolts to its funnels. Or maybe not the Olympic, because there are 4 of them, aren't there? I'll probably do them to, like, I don't know. We'll see what ships are there. Probably a 2-funnel ship. I still have yet to do the previews of the ships that I finished since all those 9 previews came out. Athenia, Germanic. I want to release those previews when I have all the ships that I have unfinished finished. Germanic, no, I probably won't do on Germanic or Athenia. What are the other ships here? I forget. The Republic here and the Servia over there, isn't it? Or is it the Lania? No, it's the Servia. Yeah. Right. I should have made the draft bigger on the Servia, but oh well. So, I do not remember which ships are down here. That's how long I've been away from the yard for. Let's see, what's this ship? It is the Georgic. Right. And that's the Olympic. I might have to do an Olympic. I don't know. I'll do them later. Servia. Oh, I'm not gonna do a sail tutorial for Servia. It'll be just like Atlantic. If I do one for Atlantic. At this point, it's not when I'll do the tutorial, it's if I do the tutorial. I have not worked on Britannic at all since like a month, but I still have a few parts of Britannic done. That'll come out eventually this year. Alright, so I keep doing this for... Is that curved? No, it isn't. It's just really detailed. So I keep doing that for... Whoops. That keeps going down for 35 more blocks. 34 more blocks. I'm gonna do it from the back. Whoops. I'm gonna do this from the back instead. Alright, so... Maybe do an Atlantic tutorial. How about this year? Again, I'll probably be focused on the bigger ships tutorials this year. But we'll see. I've been slacking for 2 years now, and I need a way to redeem myself. I might eventually I might just become like a Ryland channel and just stream my builds and then showcase them. I might not even do tutorials at one point. We'll see. Once in a blue moon. Although that's essentially what I've become anyway, so. Except I'm like the only one to do it in 1-to-1 now, so. Probably not the only one, but there's not a lot of people out there. I'm one of the only ones that still build ships in 1-to-1, really. At least the ones who regularly build ships. Alright, so keep this going down for 82 blocks. Is that including this block? No, it isn't. Alright, so I do what any sane person would do in this situation when they don't have rolled edit. I take 193 plus 89 is 282. Yeah. 282. And then I delete a block. What? I forget where I'm supposed to do that to. 282. Alright. Right on line with the shear. That is not going to be 30 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is not 30 blocks. Where did the deck plans go so wrong? Sorry, what? This should not be... I did build this shorter. How, though? I don't know how. I mean, that still looks... maybe it doesn't. Gotta love how smart I am sometimes, right? How did that... The math isn't mathing. I did that just like it's supposed to be, I thought. But no, it turns out I'm 30 blocks off, I guess. A mini Southampton Docks. Have you not been suggesting that for like 2 years now? Alright. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. I can just eyeball it. It's not a big deal. It's going to be a bit awkward having the whole line go that way. And then at the very end, it kind of goes out a block. It's going to be a bit awkward. I could even curve this. Welcome back, Caleb. It's building Bremen, okay. I'm not gonna lie, on the ship elections that I'm doing on my community, I kind of cannot wait until we get to the White Star Line. But I am so sick of the SS Great Britain. It was in service for that for Anthony Gibbs and Sons until the 1880s, I think. I'm gonna have so many more. I might just... It's probably just gonna last a couple more elections, and then I'll probably just kick her off. Because, I mean, she's shipped from the 1830s and the 1870s. Like, that's not gonna be getting any records anymore. Still, it was still a reliable ship until it was put out of service, I'm pretty sure, but, you know. The first traffic was scrapped in 1955. The Athenic, you know, the White Star Liner from 1901, I think. The Athenic, I think, actually survived until 65 or something like that. It survived until well into the 60s. If the first traffic survived to today, that would be crazy. Queen Mary, I feel, is more so a Cunarder, simply because she was designed under the Cunard line, she was started under the Cunard line, but she was finished under the Cunard White Star Line. Now, granted, I'm not saying that she's not a White Star Liner. Queen Mary is kind of pretty much still a White Star Liner, because Cunard White Star. But she's more so Cunard, I think, because she was started under Cunard. The Queen Elizabeth, though, is a different story. I'd say, yes, it's half and half Cunard White Star. Full on. But even if someone says, "Oh, the only remaining White Star Liner is the second Traffic," I still will have the urge to correct them saying the Queen Mary. I still will have the urge to do that. I think they were going to turn Queen Elizabeth into a hotel ship. Oh, wait, no, they did turn Queen Elizabeth into a hotel ship. And then they took her out of the hotel service for like a year, after like a year. And then sold her to the Seawise thing. Oh crap, I was gonna record the next Brief History video today, because I know I'm so behind on those. I was gonna record that today. I'm gonna have to set an alarm for tomorrow to do it. Shouldn't be a big deal. I'll probably do it in the morning. Only one White Star Line ocean liner survived. Which would you want it to be? I'm assuming that question is gonna be. We'll see. Or is it even a question? We'll see. I mean, like, if I had to choose one to survive, it'd definitely be the Olympic. 100%. Oh, God. Alright. I'm gonna do this deck and then I'll probably end the stream. Anywhere to survive would be... Oh, realistically, it'd probably be the Britannic. Yeah, I agree. And I just find it so weird, because Britannic and Georgic were still in commercial service when the White Star Line folded and liquidated. I just find it so weird that White Star Liners, two White Star Liners, became Cunard Liners. Like, MV Britannic survived also until the mid-60s. I'm pretty sure. Or it could have been... No, it was in 61. I might build Normandy again. My last attempt was in 1-1, and now I'm probably going to do it in my usual 1.2-1. Okay. Should probably build Normandy one of these times. Definitely not in the foreseeable future, though. Unless I get bored. Like, I just find it so weird. And I find it even weirder that Britannic and Georgic weren't sold to the Cunard line. They weren't bought by the Cunard line. They were just kind of Cunarders from inheritance. Inheritance! White Star and Cunard were the two biggest shipping rivals in the world at one point. And then two White Star Liners were inherited by the Cunard line. Can you, like, wow. That, I just cannot, even today, I cannot wrap my head around that. Georgic survived until 1955, I think. They scrapped her a little early because, probably, if I had to guess, her incident in the war made her a little, yeah. As weird as Normandy's exterior is, I find it nice. Personally. Although I do find it really sweet that the Cunard line didn't, like, rename the Britannic and Georgic when they acquired them. I find it really sweet that they didn't, like, put them in the Cunard livery. They kept them in the White Star livery until the end of their careers, with the White Star names and all. They respected their old rival, and that is the best use of camaraderie, I think, in shipping in history. You know, Cunard and White Star just being the worst of enemies at one point, and then eventually it's just Cunard, and then Cunard just kind of, like, they just respect. The Cunard line raises the White Star Line flag every April 15th on every single one of their ships to remember the Titanic. Like, that's remarkable. The Nomadic does that too, if I'm not mistaken. Ship is fine, but that bow looks terrible and ruins the silhouette. I think it kind of makes the bow look better, in my opinion. I have the most unpopular opinions, but MV Britannic looks almost the same size as the Olympic class. The Britannic was like half the size of the Olympic class. Lusitania, well, they were rivals then. I thought the Lusitania did salute the Olympic, though. Like, didn't they give a whistle salute when they passed Olympic coming into the harbor on her maiden voyage? I thought they did. Or raised some flags or something. I thought they did something. Really? They didn't. That kind of just proves my point. Eventually, Cunard just respected. I mean, they kind of had no choice but to, but, like, there was nothing technically stopping them from renaming Georgic and Britannic, from putting them in the Cunard livery, putting them in their own service, doing whatever they wanted with them. They didn't. They kept it in the White Star name, pretty much. Both of them. Georgic and the Georgia and the Britannia. Okay, I don't think Cunard almost certainly would not have named Britannia. They would have given her an entirely new name out, because they never reused the name Britannia. Never. There's been like 8 Scythias or something like that. There's been a whole bunch of Samarias. There's been a whole bunch of Laconias. Of Saxonias, of Slavonias, I'm pretty sure. A couple Slavonias. There's only been one Britannia. Out of respect, I thought. That's what I thought it was. So they probably would have given Britannic an entirely different name. When Olympic first entered harbor beside the Mauretania, they whistled at Olympic. Lusitania couldn't because it was leaving as Olympic. Oh, I see. Well, Britannia was just... It was just kind of... Nothing happened to... Well, I say nothing happened to it. Something did happen to it. They sold the Britannia in the 1850s to the Navy, I think. To the Spanish... No, to the Prussian Navy. To the Prussian Navy. And then in 1880, I think, the Britannia was sunk. And I think her name was the Barbarossa by this point. The Barbarossa was sunk as a target ship. Because she was just so darn old, they probably didn't see a use in her anymore. But Britannia is just like the first purpose-built ship for Cunard. They probably don't want to name another ship Britannia. I wouldn't think they would have. Although White Star clearly didn't care for that. They had 2 Oceanics and almost built a third. So you know. Although, believe it or not, Britannia wasn't the first ship that Cunard ever owned. She was the first purpose-built ship for Cunard, but before Britannia had her maiden voyage, the Cunard line, I believe they chartered or even... No, they probably bought a ship, a side-wheeler, called the Unicorn. So Cunard's first ship technically wasn't the Britannia, it was a ship called the Unicorn. Yeah, you know, like the mythical animal. But, like, Britannia is always the one that is respected. You know, the Queen Mary 2, I don't know if the other 3 ships have this. I'm sure one of them at least does. But the Queen Mary 2 has the Britannia restaurant, I thought. Like, yeah. Cunard treasures its history. They don't name ships after disasters, definitely. Although I don't think any company really ever did that. White Star Line avoided the names Pacific and Arctic for the Baltic and the Celtic in the 1870s because the Collins liners, and they avoided naming any other ship in the future Atlantic. Cunard avoided naming any other ship Lusitania. You know, I built a unicorn in Minecraft. Maybe I should build a unicorn in Minecraft at one point. Like, it was just a mutual, I can't even say it right, mutual thing among all shipping companies. It didn't matter if you were, like, I just feel like it didn't matter if you were enemies or partners. Don't name a ship after a disaster. Or after a ship that had a huge disaster, like Atlantic or Lusitania or Titanic or anything like that. It's just kind of disrespectful. I mean, if you're building, like, if you have, like, your own private yacht, then that's different. Name it whatever you want. I don't care. I don't think anybody really cares. But, like, actual shipping companies like P&O or Cunard or Carnival, don't name them after after disasters. What if Britannic and Lusitania was sunk in the same location? Well, then the scuba divers would have one very nice prize to look at when they found. I say scuba divers. The people who would have found the wrecks would have had a very nice surprise. I feel. Must have been magical. Little to no reference on Unicorn. Yeah, there's like one painting of it, isn't it? It's like one painting of it. That's it. Or at least one that I know of. I'm gonna remeasure the deck's distance between the end of the ship because I feel like I definitely did something wrong there. I don't want to trust the process anymore. Alright, that's the docking bridge. So, this is where that last sector should be. How many? That's not 50 pixels, is it? It's 33 pixels. Why did that say 50 before? Yeah, I knew something was up. I knew that was way too forward. It's 33, not 50. Why did that say 50? Well, great. Now I have to redo this whole thing. Just great. I knew something was up. That could have been bad. I could have knocked out the whole ship's proportions. Would have just become a custom ship at this point. What if Titanic never sank and made it to New York? Well, she would have been put in for the war efforts in World War I, certainly. Assuming she'd survived the 1913 and 14 seasons. Although the 1914 season was pretty short, considering the war. And I don't know if she would have been put on as a hospital ship or a troop ship. It's really up to anyone's imagination. Probably could have been both, for God's sake. In the end, if Titanic had a career like Olympics, then she would have been scrapped alongside Olympic and Mauritania. Although maybe not the Mauritania, because if Titanic sank, do you think Cunard White Star would have even existed? Who knows? Who knows? If Titanic went headfirst into the iceberg and survived, would she have been deemed a loss? Oh, she would have gotten the Suvik treatment. She would have 100% gotten the Suvik treatment. What, Suvik lost over half of the ship. They lost not over half of the ship. They lost almost half of Suvik. And they still rebuilt her. Do you really think that they would deem Titanic as a loss with 80 feet of her bow gone? I don't think so. The Georgic in the 40s was bombed and burned and completely, pretty much destroyed herself. What does Harland and Wolff do? Well, they mosey on, they scrap half of the Georgic, they bring her back to Harland and Wolff, and they rebuild her. Case closed. Titanic would have been rebuilt. Although, had she sank and only her stern survived, that could be a different story. Because I honestly don't know. White Star would be in probably absolute shambles even still. A ship that big? Suvik was not that big of a ship. But Titanic was pretty big. Alright. Gonna actually put this to the right proportion. Yeah. The Suvik was the first ship to be launched, I believe, bow first. In history, on a slipway anyways. Because when they built her bow, they built it inverse. So when only her bow went down, it went down bow first and not stern first. Probably honestly would have been better if they did it bow first. Suvik also technically has 2 launches, if you think about it. Suvik is just such a unique ship. Alright, I'll take a look at this again. That's 33 from here to the deck house. 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, right there. Right here is where it should be. Why did it say 50 blocks before? It shouldn't have said that. Oh, paint.net is weird sometimes. They couldn't though. Titanic would have... Yeah. Think about this. The first class interiors acted as structural support and was primarily destroyed in the split. Fair enough. Now, if only the stern survived the sinking, then Titanic probably would have been scrapped. The stern probably would have been scrapped. I don't think Harland and... I know Harland and Wolff can do a lot, but they couldn't do that much, I don't think. If they struck the iceberg head-on, they survived. Let's just say no structural damage. Apart from the bow, which is completely crunched in. 100% the bow would have been rebuilt. 100%. No can do, how are you doing? This is the Homeric. Good thing I remember the dimensions of the stuccos. I think. Fact Olympic got torpedoed. Yeah, the torpedo didn't even detonate. It's not just the fact that she survived. Because saying that she got torpedoed and survived could mean that she could have pulled a Lusitania. The torpedo didn't even detonate. It was a dud. You also think about the RMS Queen Elizabeth. Because in the war, a U-boat fired 4 torpedoes at her. 3 of them missed, and the one that hit her was also a dud. Like, that was unbelievable luck by the QE. Unbelievable. Excuse me. Yeah, Justicia was not that lucky. Although Justicia put up an amazing fight, like unbelievable fight the Justicia put on. Because she was torpedoed 4 times. 4 times. Keep in mind, she was only a little larger than the Lusitania, and only 1 torpedo took down the Lusitania. Justicia was torpedoed 4 times, and she was still limping under tow, trying to ground. If that second U-boat hadn't been there, maybe the Justicia would have survived. Had that second U-boat not put 2 more torpedoes in her. Whoops. Like, Justicia put up an amazing fight. And then you have the White Star Liner Arabic. The one from 1903. Because I believe it was torpedoed once in the stern. It went down quicker than the Lusitania did. It went down quicker than the Empress of Ireland did. Arabic went down in 9 minutes, and only 44 people died out of the 400 on board, or something like that. Now, granted, 44 people is still a tragedy, but I'm surprised more people didn't die in a 9-minute sinking in a ship as big as the Arabic. Why does Justicia hate it that much? Wrong place at the wrong time, that's why. The Centaur went down in like 5 minutes, didn't she? Yeah. Oh my god, at the shift change, yeah. I mean, granted, that's a 1 in 4 chance that if they struck a mine, that it would be during the shift change. Because it was every hour on the hour for 15 minutes. So it would be 1 in 4 chance, essentially. 25% chance. It just so happened to be that 25% chance. That was really unlucky, though. Although her portholes were open down below on F deck, what weren't there, so would she really have survived? Because she definitely could have survived the damages. 100%. She was built to survive the damages that she sustained, but no more. But the portholes were opened down there. I don't think she would have survived, realistically, just because of the portholes, but she definitely could have survived. Explain the ship that somehow beached on a rock. I am not aware of that ship. Alright, so that's 3 blocks. I can just do this. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. Ocean Liner Designs video. He has like 500 videos. Oh, how far is this supposed to go into? Oh, wait, no, that's... I'm being an idiot. Hit one funnel. Don't know. It's the city of Paris. That is the city of New York over there. Oh, I know what you're... I think I know what you're talking about. The city of Paris was really lucky to survive that grounding. Like, she grounded there, like, couple months after another ship had just wrecked there. With quite a few casualties, if I'm not mistaken. Like, she was insanely lucky. Although she was built quite well as well, so, you know. Not to mention, the city of New York, the Paris' sister ship, she struck a mine in World War I, I'm pretty sure, and she managed to survive. I remember I did a small, crappy history video on her back when my channel was only starting out, when I only had like 20-something subs, I think. She struck a mine in 1917, I think? She survived, so that's pretty good. Pretty good track record there. She also prevented a collision with the largest ship in the world in 1912. Although, had that collision happened, Titanic probably wouldn't have sunk. At least the way she did, anyways. Whoops. That was... No, believe it or not, that was also the city of Paris, if I'm not mistaken. In 1891, I think, the city of Paris' engines just completely exploded. Pretty much. Ship survived. City of New York and City of Paris. Look, they were the last in-man line ships. The in-man line went bankrupt after City of New York and City of Paris were built. They went out of business. But, let me tell you something. The in-man line went out with an absolute bang. Because those ships were unbelievably well built. They were amazing. Like, the in-man line went out with an absolute bang. Oceanic 2, they probably would have covered up one of her promenades. Oceanic 2 could have been scrapped in the 20s, though, I feel. She might have made it to the 30s. Might have. Might have. I'm just thinking, because I know Carpathia's sister ship, Saxonia, survived until 1925, I think, and she was younger than the Oceanic, although they were much younger ships, or smaller ships, too, so, you know. Okay, okay. There. Pretty weird how if Titanic had collided with the New York, that'd make her pretty close to Olympic also being hit. Yeah, yeah. Although, the collision probably wouldn't have been as bad as the Hawk. Certainly not. Hawk was designed to ram ships. City of New York just probably would have bumped into her. She might have holed Titanic in one compartment. At the very most. 2 compartments at the very most, I guess. But she wouldn't have realistically done as much damage to Titanic as... That wouldn't have happened. Although they would likely have canceled her maiden, or at the very least postponed her maiden voyage. Because that whole incident, New York didn't even collide with Titanic, and the whole thing delayed Titanic by like an hour or something like that. 30 minutes maybe. Well, one of the big four grounded, and they couldn't get her off, so, well, they scrapped her on site. So I don't know if you count that. But if you don't, then yeah, none of them sank. No, because I don't know which ship it was, but I think it could have been the Adriatic. After the war, I think. She was carrying a whole frickin' load of cotton, I think. And I think for some reason, she had a great big explosion in her cargo hold that almost sank the ship, I think, or something like that. And have you ever heard of the Viceroy of India? That P&O ship? It came to the aid, I think. And Adriatic survived miraculously, I think. I might be dramatizing it. In fact, I'm probably dramatizing it, but I believe there was an explosion. And if you look at the brief history videos, which aren't the most accurate things in the world, but even then, they will show you the big four also caught fire a lot. They caught fire a lot. Did Britannic ever have a close call like that? Would be the only one not if she didn't. No, I don't think she did. No, she didn't. Not to my knowledge. Alright, this now means I'm gonna have to redo the front of the Homerics thing. So, what was this? 30 something? It's like, is that the right deck? No, it isn't. Gonna make sure I copy it that time. That's 35, alright. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 5. Just assuming that's good. I'm not even gonna remove the wall. It can just stay like that. That's gonna go to 260. Alright. White Star's unluckiest class? That's a good question, actually. Probably the Olympic class. Probably the Olympic class. Because Olympic was always getting into trouble of some sort. She was a reliable ship, hence her nickname Old Reliable, but she was always getting into collisions. Titanic sank on her maiden voyage, and Britannic sank before her maiden voyage, so probably the White Star Line. I didn't do this right. Oh, wait, yeah. There, that's what I did wrong. Yeah, I know. No, Adriatic was the one who had its explosion in the cargo hold, I thought. Or it could have been the Baltic, even. Maybe the Cedric. Anything but the Celtic, really. Or the Celtic, really. But... yeah, I know Celtic was the one to ground. Alright. So, how good does that look? Not bad. Much better. Much better. Much better. Alrighty. Do you guys also like what I'm doing with the shear? Because I am actually putting detail in the shear for once. Yeah, the ship's ready to be launched now. Yeah. Well, she wasn't even launched as a White Star liner, so I don't know. I don't know how the Norddeutscher Lloyd launched its liners. Or was it Hamburg America? I don't know. It's one of the two. One of the two. Alright, this will probably be it for this stream, guys. It's probably it for this stream. So, thank you all for watching. Sorry about the break I'm taking. Again, I have a video premiering on the 15th. Hope to see you there. I hope I don't forget about it. Bye, Caleb. Bye, No Can Do. Bye, Shiki. Bye, anyone else who's here. Because it says 6 people are here, so. Alright. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.